Hi, and welcome to the video where I want to talk about the syllabus for English Linguistics 317 History of the English Language. So this is the first semester where I'm actually teaching the entire class online. Last spring, so spring of 2020, the class had to move online because of COVID-19 midway. So it was after, I think, the spring break that we moved online. So only one half of this class is being taught online, but this is the first time that everything is being taught online. So it's going to be a very different semester from the usual spring semesters where I teach history of the English language face to face. And this is partly because we're still in the middle of a pandemic, so going online was the best option for this class. So all of you, I think, or most of you know me. I'm Dr. Maithili Menon. I'm an assistant professor of English and linguistics in the English department. My office is completely virtual for this semester, so I will only be holding virtual office hours this semester on Wednesdays between 10 and 11. My Zoom office hours are already up on Blackboard. So when you go to Blackboard and you go into the Start Here column on the left-hand side, you will be able to find information about my office hours and find the link to my Zoom office hours in there. You also have my email address. So if you cannot find it or you need some more clarification about my office hours, feel free to email me as well. I'm going to go straight into the main sections of the syllabus that are required for our class. So what is the history of the English language? Now, different professors teach history of the English language in different ways. So if you were taking this class from a different professor of the English department, you would be concentrating more on different texts during, the 1,500 to 2,000 year history of English as a language. But I deal with it from the linguistic side of things. So we are going to be looking at the language because the name of the class is History of the English Language. So how has English changed over the years? Was English always spoken like this, right? Those are the kind of the questions that we are going to be answering in this class. So we will be looking at different phonological changes, different phonetic changes, different morphological changes that English has undergone throughout the years. So it is highly relevant for you to keep your Linguistics 315 textbook and materials with you. I know some of you have taken this class last semester when it was taught online entirely. And some of you have taken it with me in person in, say, spring of 2020 or in fall of 2019. So depending on when you took this class, please keep your materials with you. And if you still have your textbook, please keep your textbook with you, because occasionally you might have to review a terminology that is unfamiliar to you, or we covered it in 315, but it shows up in the textbook of 317. So it will be good for you to have those material with you to review from 315. Here are the measurable student learning outcomes for this class. So be able to identify and explain major changes in the development of English from its Indo-European roots. So English is an Indo-European language. There are different languages in the world. And so English is an Indo-European language, and there are different changes that have happened in English, even though it's Indo-European, and other Indo-European languages have gone through these similar changes. So we are going to see what those changes are. And we're going to see this with respect to all the different sub areas of linguistics that you know. So phonetics, phonology, morphology, syntax, semantics, etc. We're also going to understand English and the structure of Anglo-Saxon and all the different stages of English, such as Old English and Middle English and Modern English and different dialects of English towards the end of the class. We are going to use some tools and corpus data to answer some of these questions. And we're going to articulate and identify the consequences of context. So language contact has played a huge role in making English what it is today. And so that's what we are going to look at. as well as learn about the different political and cultural movements and religious movements that have shaped English and the landscape of English so far, and also learn about different world Englishes as we go along. There is a required textbook for this class. It's a 2014 History of the English Language textbook by Ellie Van Gelderen. And there are hard copies of the book that are available in the university bookstore, but I am going to be providing a PDF version of this textbook for all of you. So please do not buy a hard copy unless you really are a history buff and you want to have a hard copy of the textbook. I understand that costs of textbook are really high, and we're still in the middle of a pandemic. And so I wanted to make sure that everybody has access to the textbook. So I am going to be providing this to you for purposes of copyright, etc. I'm not going to be able to put it up on Blackboard, but what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be sending the PDF version of the textbook to all of you through email. So there's no need to buy a textbook. I will be putting up other supplementary materials as well as extra readings, exercises, and study questions on Blackboard. Since this is an entirely online class, I'm expecting that you have access to a laptop or a personal computer. If you don't, please let me know. And you also should have access to, say, Microsoft Word, because that's what you're going to be using to type up your assignments, etc. So if you don't have access to all that, I've given you instructions on how to log into my WSU and get access to it. Now, this is an online class, so I'm not going to be meeting you synchronously for any of the lectures. These lectures are going to be pre-recorded and asynchronous. And if you look at my online plan for 317 on Blackboard, you will understand why I'm doing this. It's just because, like I say in that document, we're still in the middle of a pandemic, and people are still juggling work and childcare and economic instability and all this sort of stuff. So the best way, I think, to go forward is to have class asynchronously so that you can watch at your own pace. But I also realize that that means that a lot of the responsibility goes on to the student. You are responsible for your learning, right? I mean, I cannot ask you to watch the video. I mean, I can tell you to watch the video, but I cannot force you to watch the video. So please be responsible. Please participate. I expect you to log into this course at least 3 times a day, 3 times a week. Watch the videos, read what I've asked you to do, and complete what I've asked you to do. This is literally, compared to English 315, is a much easier course because you kind of have the background that is needed to do this class, which is why 315 is a prerequisite for this class, but also because this is more of history, so it's a lot more fun, and my English education students like to, tend to like this class a lot better than 315. So please make sure that you watch the videos and complete your assignments and pop quizzes on time. Here are some contact policies. Always email me from your WSU email address. If you send me an email from your personal Gmail or Hotmail or something, there's a very good chance that it might go into spam and I might not be able to read it. Use openings such as "Dear Professor," people call me Dr. Menon, so please use those openings and have closings in your email address. And you should not contact me for tech support. So that's something that I have faced after going online last semester and the previous semester, that if you are having trouble uploading assignments, if you are having trouble watching the videos, those are questions that should be routed to One Stop, which is WSU's dedicated office for addressing these questions. I've given you their email address, I've given you their website, and I've also given you their phone number. So please feel free to contact them. But by all means, let me know if you're having issues. So rather than asking me what to do, just tell me that you're having issues uploading the assignment and you have contacted One Stop. Let me know that, just so that I can be on the same page as you. And we can also make alternative arrangements for you to submit the assignment, so maybe over email or another web portal or something of that sort. I will be responding to your emails within 24 hours of receiving them. I'm usually quicker to respond than 24 hours, but that's the time that I'm giving myself, just because all the classes that I'm teaching this semester are online. And that's the same thing for assignments as well. So if your assignment is due on a Sunday, you can expect your feedback the week following that, before the next Sunday. My grading scale remains the same from English 315. There are no changes. 93 and above is an A, and 50 and below is an F. And just like 315, I will be posting grades online regularly on Blackboard. So please do make sure to go through your Blackboard Grade Center and see where you stand in class, because you are going to see the weighted total, and the weighted total is going to determine what grade you end up with at the end of the class. So there are going to be 6 assignments in this class, according to the 6 different modules that we're going to be doing, each of them worth 5% of your grade. You will get 1 week to complete the assignment, and a couple of assignments will be short answer questions or essay questions, and then a couple of them where I give you some data and ask you questions about it. Now, I highly encourage you to collaborate with your friends, and I know a lot of you know each other in this class, which is great, because I think when you're in an online class, it's great to have that community and foster that community, like the kind of lab sections that we would do in 315, where you would talk to each other and you would, collaborate on assignments and stuff. So you're allowed to collaborate on homework assignment, but just submit your own write-up of the assignment and let me know who you worked with. Pop quizzes are worth 10% of your grade. It's going to be completely open book. It's online. Again, you can look at your textbook, reading, notes, etc. You have 2 exams in this. 50% of your grade comes from that, 25% each, and these are open book and timed. I do not believe in using proctored and proctoring services when I teach online. I think it's completely unethical. So these are going to be open book, but they're timed. So you will get 2 hours to do each of these midterms and final exams, and they're non-cumulative. Now, in addition to this, you also have a final project and a presentation. So you will research on a topic, you will make a final presentation on this, which will be uploaded on Blackboard, and then you will do a write-up of that, which is what I call the project. This is 10% of your grades, so 5% for your presentation and 5% for your write-up. And I want you to answer the question, why do you think you speak English? Right now, at the outset, you must be like, duh, like, what sort of question is that, right? That's such an obvious question, but actually it's not so obvious. I want you to focus on your family's history of using English. So try to trace back your ancestral history is what I'm trying to say. So try to find out who was the first person who came into America, right? From maybe your ancestry is English or German or Swedish or Asian or whatever it is. How did you or your family come to reside in the United States? So maybe before you came to live in the United States, you spoke another language. Maybe you spoke Irish or Gaelic or German or Swahili or, one of those languages that were not English. When did your earliest ancestor arrive who had learned to speak English, and what was the English language like at that time? Did their languages of origin have any effect on the English they came to speak in America? Sometimes you might also find out that your last name has changed from moving from Europe to America. So that's another thing that you may want to highlight. The library has a kind of list of resources that you could use to do this project. So that's also something that I will link in one of my announcements during class so that you can go and check that out. But I want you to talk to me about this. So either email me or come to my office, ask to talk about your project no later than midterm week. So that's, I believe, end of March. So you have about 2 months to kind of do the initial groundwork for this. Talk to your mom and dad, talk to your grandparents and other people in your family to kind of figure out if this is a feasible project for you. Some of you may not be able to find anything interesting to share with the class on this topic. And if so, there are alternative topics that I've given you. And these are origins and historical events in the development of your own surname or a surname in your family, a detailed etymological history of a particular word in English that you're interested in, or a project focusing on some aspect of the history of English in America or elsewhere. So I've given you fairly a wide range of topics connected to history. So if you don't want to research the question, why do you think you speak English? You're most welcome to talk about any of these, research about any of these other topics, but come and talk to me about it so that you can get the thumbs up from me before you go ahead and make your presentation. There could be extra credit opportunities when there are research experiments to complete in my research lab, or if we have a language and linguistics colloquium series, I will let you know about that. My late assignment is basically you can take a total of 3 late assignments. So if there are 6 assignments in this class, half of them you can take a late, which means if it's due the Sunday of this week, now it's going to be due the Sunday of the next week. But just let me know in writing that it's going to be late and that you've just not forgotten to submit the assignment. Well, in exciting news, a lot of you know that this has happened, or a lot of you knew that this was going to be happening. We now have a brand new applied studies linguistics major at Wichita State. This major was approved just last month, December of 2020. And I'm the director of the linguistics program. So I'm very excited to share this news with you. And we are starting to enroll students in this. I think a couple of you who are in this class are already enrolled in this major. So that's exciting. But I also want you to think of this as a double major option for your applied studies program, or anthropology, or a foreign languages degree, etc. This is something which is going to be really, really lucrative for a lot of people if you're looking for alternative careers compared to what you initially had planned to do. We had 3 exciting tracks in this program. We have a general linguistics track, we have a speech pathology track, and we have a computational linguistics track. And each of these tracks are very, very lucrative in finding career options. So come and talk to me about this if you're interested. We can make an appointment to talk more about this. But there's also a linguistics minor if the major doesn't work out for you. So I will be happy to talk to you more about the details of the minor as well. Now, I'm going to go ahead into the schedule. I have sketched out a very detailed schedule for you, and I have also made this into a different folder, just this table, into an online schedule so that you can print it off, download it, put all these dates into your calendar, because I want you to be on top of things. That's the first thing about an online class. You have to be organized and you have to be completely on top of things, right? So these are things for you to watch and complete, and these are things for you to read. So as you can see, the first pop quiz is in second week, which is the review week. And then your pop quizzes, and then your first assignment is the last week of February. It's due on Sunday, February 28th. Again, this is a tentative schedule. If I make changes to this, I will let you know in an announcement, and I will also put up the updated syllabus on Blackboard. So this is already up on Blackboard, and your schedule is already up on Blackboard. So please make sure that you get all these, the midterm week dates and the final week dates, etc. Let me talk to you a little bit about the midterm week and the final week. So the midterm week is March 22nd to 28th. And what this means is that the Monday, so March 22nd, I will open up the midterm, and it will stay open all the way until Sunday, which is when when I'll close the midterm. It's open book, it's timed. So what it means is that within that week, you can start the midterm anytime you want, but once you do it, you have to finish it in 2 hours. So once you start the midterm, you don't have the luxury of going back and doing it on another date and time. You have to finish doing it in a stretch of 2 hours. The last week of classes is when you will have final week. So that's May 03 to 09. And again, it'll be the same like the midterm. I will put up the final on May 3rd and I will close it out on the Sunday of that week. So that is all I had to say about the syllabus. I look forward to having all of you in my class again. I know all of you, so it's going to be a fun class. It's just going to be a very different format. Compared to what you're used to having taken a class with me before. But welcome, and I look forward to the rest of the semester.